When it came to the NES back in its prime, one of the more associated words to be used was power. Whether you were playing with it or if it was within you, the word has become attached to Nintendo in the early days that it was all over their marketing and continued into their later systems. There were many different kinds of power according to the Big N, portable power, superpower, but there was also another kind of power, that being body power. This is the Power Pad, a floor mat controller for the Nintendo Entertainment System. A controller for your feet, as these children are illustrating to us. But that didn't stop other people from trying to play Nintendo with their feet, and I have the Nintendo Power to prove it. I think I showed this off before, but it does bear repeating. The box is a little beat up, but still able to show the free pack-in game of world-class track meet, which was missing when I got mine, but I do have it now. The flaps have been the most damaged, showing more or less of the same stuff we've already seen on the front. It sometimes is tough to see the tears, but the back has had the best luck of survival, showing off additional info and games that can be played with people like these. Nintendo was always all about getting families to have fun, but this is catering to a soul nerd, so let's say sayonara to the box and get a closer look at the Power Pad itself. For the sake of this accessory, we'll transition to the floor since that is where it will be played, and we have just the right amount of room to unfold it out and lay it flat. The pad itself is a mat with 12 pressure sensors between layers of flexible plastic, which would explain why it can bend and wrap together easily. To the feet, it feels not out of the ordinary, maybe a little paper thin, and to the hands, it feels sleek and padded like it would suggest. Though you can't feel the layers, it feels like a solid singular mat. The 12 pads are numbered like so. Not sure if they have any real use, but it may depend on the game. One thing some people might not pay attention to is that this is only side B of the Power Pad, for if we flip it over, we find side A. It wouldn't surprise me if you aren't familiar with it, as it is hardly used. I couldn't tell you what games actually use it, but it is unique in design, using only 8 of the 12 sensor pads, the 2 centered ones marked red, while the others being blue. May Nintendo remind you to not wear shoes on the Power Pad. It could probably damage it with the added weight and roughness. Maybe put a hole in it if you tried hard enough. Side B has additional warnings for those with certain conditions or limited mobility. Hopefully you're sure that the plump belly is fat and not a baby. I think that covers all there is on the pad, so we'll connect it in the second player slot so we can try out the games. You will need the regular controller for selecting game types, but the rest will be controlled by your body. The games are varied for the limited library it has. A total of 11 games were made, 6 made it to the States. I only have 3. But with the games I had, I still was able to have a somewhat interesting experience. Super Team Games was decent, World Class Track Meet was your basic sports title, Short Order / Eggsplode was where the fun and creativity was at. While it was still simple, it got your body moving around and your brain thinking. I was surprised to know that the Power Pad could support my weight, as I thought it was made for children specifically. But it still tuckered me out and I had to resort to the hand technique. I think a dog could even join in on the fun, but it would more than likely take a piss before walking in place. The Power Pad was quite a step forward, pun absolutely intended. Nintendo thought so as well, treating it as the third controller behind the Zapper and regular controller. It no doubt left an impact, which can be seen today with DDR with similar look, and the Wii balance board continuing what this started. It would make an interesting addition to your collection if you find one, and you can see if you could lose some body weight by means of power. Now, of course, I haven't mentioned yet that this was released by Bandai before Nintendo acquired the license to it. It was their creation at first, and they decided to market it here for a brief stint, having it branded Family Fun Fitness with games to go with it. But it would become the Power Pad shortly after having it and its games recalled. That today is hard to find, just like World Class Track Meet's first branded name Stadium events, being the most sought-after NES game to this day. Amazing what a simple reprint and circuit board can do to the value, and to a mediocre sports game at best. Got any fond memories with this controller/accessory? Tell me about it by leaving a comment. If you like what you see, be sure to leave a like. If you think others would like this, share the video around. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button pronto. This is BrianTheBlue, and I'll see you later.